Hello my friends, welcome back. Today's leadership training video is going to be very powerful. We're going to teach you the law of the lid. So are you ready? Let's get started. Welcome back to the Dennis Bayway video channel. Good day to you my friends. In today's leadership training, we're going to be talking about one of the most powerful laws of leadership, and it's called the law of the lid. Alright, so if you have heard of this law before, great. If not, pay attention to this lesson. Okay, what is the law of the lid? So the best way to illustrate this to you is to tell you the story of the lid and the flea. Okay, what is the lid and the flea? If you've never heard of this before, listen up very closely. Okay, so imagine this little cup here. Okay, and there's a lid on top. Alright, so imagine this. Okay, one day, alright, we put a flea into the cup. Okay, we put a flea into the cup. And we all know that fleas can jump, right? They can jump very high, very far. They're very small, but they can jump very high, very far if they want to, okay? But because we put the flea into this cup, okay, and then we put a lid on top of the cup, so what happened was, of course, the flea would naturally try to jump out of the flask, correct? To escape this trap that it's in, okay? So what happens is, right, the flea kept jumping but kept hitting its head onto the lid, okay? And wow, it's, it hurts, it's very painful, but it didn't give up. It tried again. But after a week of jumping and trying to get out, but getting its head all swollen because he keeps hitting its head onto the lid, what happens to the flea? The flea stops jumping, okay, because he realized that there's no way he can jump out because he's blocked by the lid, okay? He's blocked by the lid. But after 1 week, all right, when I see the flea has stopped jumping and I remove the lid, what happens? The flea doesn't try to jump out anymore. Why is that? The flea has given up on jumping out. Why? Because it's already conditioned by the lid, right? The lid, even though I remove the lid, the flea still thinks that there's an imaginary lid, right, on top of this cup, and it has stopped trying to jump out. Okay, so that's the story of the lid and the flea, guys. Okay, so many people out there, okay, you are like the flea, right? You have immense potential to be a great leader, to be a fantastic leader in your organization, but you are limited by your belief system, right? You have been conditioned by the negativity in the world. You have been conditioned by people, talking negative things to you, putting you down, saying that you can't do it, or maybe your boss is always there, just putting you down and just asking you just do your job, just be a good subordinate, right? And stop thinking. Stop dreaming, right? Stop thinking of the impossible, right? And then you just get conditioned in your life, in your job, in your career, that there's no way you can be better than your boss. There's no way that you can be a better, stronger leader and have a better life. Okay, so that's the problem, right? That's the problem with a lot of people. Okay, it's not that they cannot be good leaders; it's their mindset. Okay, but of course, right, there are lots of cases in history that you can look back to, where you can understand why the law of the lid is so powerful, right? If you're able to change your mindset and learn how to become a better leader, you can break through, right, beyond the lid, and then you can become a much more. You can do so much more for your organization, for your business, and for your career. Right? So this story about two brothers, okay, in America back in 1930s. They lived in New Hampshire in America, and they decided to move to California to realize their dreams. Okay, and when they first moved to California, they started several businesses, but that didn't really work out. And then one day they had this brilliant idea. Hey, because people started to like to go and drive their cars and go watch movies and stuff. It was the American lifestyle, and they decided that it would be a great idea to open up a drive-in restaurant where people can drive in. Instead of dining in, they drive their cars, they buy the food, and then they actually just literally eat the food in their cars, okay? These two brothers by the name of Dick and Maurice decided to open this drive-in restaurant, and it became a huge success, okay? It became huge. Many people came. They went from broke to becoming like the elite, the wealthy people in California because of this drive-in restaurant, right? And soon they decided, hey, why don't we expand this restaurant? In 1940, the two brothers decided to move their restaurant to San Bernardino. And some of you may be familiar with this name when I tell you about it, okay? After they moved to the restaurant, they decided to upscale their business, and they were very effective. They were very good at running their own business, their restaurant. They decided to make it into a systematic, something like a assembly line. So they turned their kitchen into an assembly line, and then they could churn out food to the customers very quickly. And they decided to just reduce their menu to very simple few items, being hamburgers, french fries, and maybe sodas, okay? And they kept it very simple, and people came and they bought food, and it was fast, and that was the beginning of what we call the fast food era. So if I tell you the name of this restaurant, it's called the McDonald's Hamburgers Restaurant, okay? Everybody would have heard of McDonald's. But no, listen to this story, okay? They did not become the McDonald's that we know about today, because they were not leaders. They were not very good leaders, okay? They were good at what they were doing with their restaurant. They actually came up with the first franchise system, franchise idea for their restaurant, but they only got like less than 20 franchisees. I think it was 11 franchisees in the whole of America at the time. But until one man came, okay, a man by the name of Ray Kroc. And Ray Kroc actually was a salesman selling machines to the McDonald's brothers that could make milkshakes, okay? But every time Ray came by to their restaurant, they were like, hey, this is fantastic, man. This idea, this can go nationwide. This can be huge. And what happened was Ray worked out some sort of a partnership with the McDonald's brothers, and he bought over a license to franchise McDonald's and a license to sell and get other people to franchise McDonald's. And he created a company called McDonald's Systems. So in 1955, Ray Kroc started McDonald's Systems. And Ray Kroc was super good at what he was doing because he was a fantastic leader. And he was able to get hundreds of people to franchise the McDonald's business, right? And he actually managed to use the system, refine it, hired the best people in his team, and led them to grow McDonald's into over 30,000+ restaurants around the world today, and $1 billion organization. Right? Because Ray Kroc was not limited by his mindset, okay? But the McDonald's brothers, too bad, they weren't good leaders. They weren't great leaders. Right? They may have been good leaders in their own little restaurant, and but their mindset was not big enough, right? Like Ray Kroc. Okay, so you must understand that if you are able to learn leadership, if you're able to train yourself to become a better leader, right, to understand the different laws of leadership, the different qualities that you can improve to be a better leader, the mindset of a leader, you can grow your life and your business and your career by multiple hundreds of times, okay, multiple hundreds of times. Whereas if someone is very skilled, okay, if you have a lot of skill, it does not mean that you can be a very good leader, all right? So your skill and your effectiveness actually is like the lid on the cup, right? It actually limits your growth of your business. What you need to do is to either become a better leader or find someone who is already a great leader to lead in your team or in your company or in your organization. A very good example again would be the Apple computer company, right? If you look at the history of Apple, okay, Steve Wozniak, famous guy, he was the guy who actually created the Apple computer, the Apple system. Steve, he's very talented, he's very skilled, he's very effective at what he does. He's an engineer, he's an inventor, he's a creator, he's a computer scientist, right? He's great at what he's doing. But the limitation of Steve is like the law of the lid, okay? He does not have that mindset or that desire to become the leader, right, of the organization, right? He just wants to create and build stuff, right? And he's really good at it, Okay, so that's what he does. Okay, but that's like the lid. It limits his potential, it limits his abilities, it limits the things that he can do. So what made Apple so great? It was Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is the guy who led Apple to become where it is today, right? And Steve Jobs is the person with that leadership quality. Right. In many organizations, right, leadership changes are common. And it's so common when, you know, a company does not do well, and then the management or the board, right, the shareholders will come together and they'll say, hey, let's change the CEO, right? Let's find a better CEO. When a company's going down, the sales is going down, they need a change of leadership. It's always about how good the leader is that determines how good the organization can become. So the higher you want to climb, the greater need for you to become a better leader, the greater need for your company to have better leadership, the greater impact that you want to make, the greater influence that you need to have. So listen carefully. The law of the lid defines, right, that if you do not increase the ability or the level of your leadership, then your business, your career, your job, the results will be limited, right? And you will not be able to progress. Okay, so conversely, if you want to increase, right, the results of your business, you need to break through out of the lid and jump out and force yourself to increase the level of your leadership, the ability of your leadership, right? Your leadership skills. You need to go and put in effort to grow and to multiply that, and that will in turn grow and multiply your business, your organization, your team, your sales by multiple times. It could be the difference of 10 to 20 times, right, compared to you wasting your time training on your personal effectiveness and skill. Okay, because as a leader, it's not just you, it's about you and your team and your organization, how you lead them and lead the organization to change and grow and improve. All right, so here's 4 last things I want to end with where you can learn how to improve your leadership. Number 1 is people skills. So you want to go and get whatever books, resources, training material you can to learn how to improve your people skills. And number 2 is planning and strategic thinking. Okay, you need to be able to learn how to plan better and have better strategy, and think how to plan and strategize for your entire business and organization. And number 3 is the ability to cast vision for your organization, cast vision for your team. Let them see where they are going, let them see where we are all going. The vision must be so big, so huge, and so fantastic, and it's basically helping everyone to change and improve their lives in the world, right? It must be that big, right, so that people can see your vision and follow that vision. The last point, number 4, is results. A great leader focuses on how to get more results, better results, multiply and grow the results of themselves and their team and their organization. Alright, so if these 4 key points, you will be able to focus and improve your leadership capability, and you will be able to break through the law of the lid and jump out, right, and excel. Okay, so thank you very much, guys. If you like this video, click the like and subscribe button below, turn on notifications so that you get all my latest video updates, and go to my website dennisbay.com somewhere here, and go to that link, download my free book, get my free trainings, go to follow my social media, and I will see you at the top.